farmhands, I'm Reef. Welcome back to another episode of The Haul. Today we are going to do a little tank tour. We're going to go around. I just want to show you how the ugly stage is gone and what it turns out to look like you see behind me. There's no more diatoms on the sand. There's no algae or anything growing anywhere because right now we're just looking for that coralline algae to start. And in my next video, we'll talk about how we're going to get the coralline algae to start inside the Hulk because everything is dead here and there's a great process that's out right now that you guys can do. So the way I like to control all my diatoms in this tank when you're first starting out, I like to keep dosing bacteria. We started with the Fritz Turbo Start, and I finished my tank off with the Polybleb Genesis. I'm a firm believer in having a bacteria and dosing it in your tank. They do such a great job of keeping everything nice and clean, especially on that, when you're starting to get those diatoms and everything. It's definitely going to help be more successful and keep your tank clean and get through that ugly process a lot faster. So I always dose the Polybleb Genesis. Picture of it right here. It's great stuff. It's dormant bacteria, so it doesn't get activated until it hits the water. So if you guys want to check that out, there's a picture of it right here. And I dose that every other day. Sometimes if you dose a little too much, like any bacteria, you're gonna get like a bacteria bloom where your water doesn't look so clear. So that's an indicator maybe you're dosing a little too much of bacteria. Right now my water is looking really good. My parameters are bang on. Everything, my magnesium was a little low, but I boosted it up. Sometimes if you don't have enough magnesium in there, your water will look cloudy because it's, magnesium likes to, bond their elements together. So like I said, all my diatoms are gone. So the tank is looking really good. And I'll take you guys can see right here, but I'll take you for a tour how clean the sand bed is. It has that really nice white pink look to it because I went with Fiji sand on this build. It's very nice sand. So let's take a little tour. Let's check out some of the fish that are in here. First off, let's check the sand. Now you can see there's no more diatoms there. The rock is looking great. We have no algae issues at all. So that's what I mean when you dose bacteria, keeps everything nice and clean. Plus with this tank as well, I haven't introduced anything live into here. The only thing that's live so far is the pods from Algae Barn. You guys can check here. I added about just over 20-some thousand pods. And if I look along the lines here, I can see them all running around. So they are reproducing. So that's awesome. So with pods, what pods do, they help eat detritus. They feed your corals and they feed any finicky, fish that don't like to eat frozen food or anything. So they're definitely beneficial to have in there. And definitely they get in all those cracks and clean up and eat all that detritus. So they're definitely good to have in there. Like I said, they're, at night you can see them all out and about. So that's one reason when you start everything dead in your tank, you want to get that ecosystem, flourishing in there. So everyone's been asking me, when are you going to put corals in here? Well, this is a newer tank. I want this tank to start maturing and start aging a little bit. I want to start seeing coralline algae on here. When I start seeing coralline algae, that's a good indicator I can start keeping some SPS because SPS is very finicky and we want to make sure we have everything bang on. So with my pods, when they reproduce, they're cleaning the tank. Plus they're, nutrition for your corals as well because they're so small. They're going to latch on and they're going to feed them. When I start getting some dragonet fish in here, they'll have lots of natural food to eat. So guys, if you can get your pods, it's one way to do it. The Soul Tang, he's doing awesome. Everybody's doing really well. My 8 chromies are in there. It's so awesome to watch them swim around like they're natural wild. They school together. It's pretty cool. These guys are getting hungry because I got home and they're waiting to be fed. And there's the new Lieutenant Tang. He's doing really well. He's nice and healthy. There's our Tommy Tang. And you can see all the little blue chromies. They're waiting for me to feed them. You can see the other guys back there schooling around. Maybe we can see through the arch here. But yeah, everything is going really well. So keep up your bacteria. This is the Polybleb Genesis. This is what I dose my tank weekly. Just a few drops here and there. It's very high concentrated. And what's awesome about this as well, it's a highly nutritious food source for your corals. So it's double benefits, cleaning your tank, plus it feeds your corals as well. So that's it, guys. It's a great product to have on hand. Just dose it now and then, but it's like anything. Like I say, you can't overdose bacteria, but the only problem is you're gonna have so much bacteria in your tank that it's gonna make the water a little cloudy. That means indicator, just back off a little bit until you see it go away, and then you can judge how your tank is doing. Like my oxygen levels for breaking down, ORP, I'm up to 365, 370 now, so my numbers are coming in really, really well. You can see the little chromies are they're swimming around like all natural. It's pretty awesome. And at night they like to hide in the rocks. So like when I do get my SPS corals and they grow out, they'll hide in, you know, inside the branches of the corals. Everyone's been asking me how the sea urchin is doing. He's doing really well. He's doing his job. He's keeping everything clean. Here we go, gang, a little tour of how the Hulk is doing. It's doing really well. We are going to keep letting this tank mature, and then we'll eventually start putting corals in there. I want to get a whole bunch of SPS acro corals all over the rock. That is the plan. I'm working on the calcium reactor right now with a buddy, Steven. We're working on it together, make sure it gets everything tuned in perfectly before we start introducing any of those corals. So that is the plan. We're going to make sure the tank is mature, make sure the calcium reactor is completely tuned in, and then we're going to start adding these corals in here to make sure that we're successful as we keep moving forward. And that is the process. And I'm going to show you every part of this journey. If it goes really well or if it fails, that is the plan. With any tank, I know you're excited to start it right away, get the water in, get everything all mixed up, you know, just start adding those corals and those fish. But if you guys rush everything, you're going to have failure. I see a lot of people out there right now. They have all their tanks all setting up and they're just blowing through it, getting the cycle done, getting all the corals in there. The corals are dying. They're having problems with their fish dying. They got velvet, ick. Why rush it, guys? It's a whole process to enjoy, and all the tank mates that are in there, we got to respect them and make sure you give them the best home possible. So just take your time, guys. Have fun. Like this tank I want to have for many years. And that is the plan. So thanks for tuning this week, guys. I greatly appreciate it. If you could hit that like button, give me like 600 likes, subscribe, tell your friends, it'd be great. Got other videos coming up this week. We're gonna see how we're gonna turn this tank purple, green, pink. That is the plan, to get this rock all populated with coralline algae, and then we can start adding a bunch of corals. So that's the plan. We're gonna go step by step and don't rush it. So make sure you please subscribe and hit that like button.